Alright guys, so for this week's video, I want to make some Texas Twinkies. I posted them on my Facebook page and they are so good. I've made them a few times in the past, but since I want to make them, I find that it's better to make my own brisket because I can buy a big old brisket for like $40 versus buying a pound of brisket for like, I don't know, like 16 bucks, 16 or 18 bucks depending on where you go, and that seems like a rip-off to me. So I made my brisket last time and it was so good, so I'm going to show you how to make it. But first, I'm looking through all my apps and just see where I can find the best priced brisket. It's 10:56 at night. This is where I get all my best ideas. So, Walmart wins. I'm gonna go get this thing tomorrow. It's tomorrow, and here is my big old brisket. This one was $37.05. And how many pounds is it? Oh, 15 pounds. So I'm gonna clean it up tonight, season it, and then put it back in the fridge, and then I will bake it in the morning. But whenever I season it, I will make sure to give you the recipe so that you can make one too, because it's such a good recipe. So good. The seasoning, my mouth is already watering. It's delicious. Alright, I'll come back whenever I'm gonna season this sucker. Hey guys, welcome back to Deb's Journey. I'm Deborah. Today we're gonna be making some Texas Twinkies. Don't know what that is? I didn't either until I found this recipe. The first thing that I'm gonna do is, now that I have this big brisket here, the first thing I'm gonna do is make the dry rub. So let's get started. Alright, for this dry rub, you're gonna need some sort of sweetener. This recipe calls for Lakanto. I just happen to have just bought a big bag of Lakanto. Cayenne pepper, garlic, smoked paprika, black pepper, and ground comino or cumin. It also asks for cinnamon, and if you like that flavor, like in your savory, meals, then go for it. I'm not big on cinnamon on my meat, so just make that decision yourself. I'm choosing. It also requires celery salt. I don't have celery salt, so I think what I am gonna add is some oregano. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the first ingredient calls for the Lakanto sweetener. Calls for 1/4 cup salt. They ask for pink Himalayan salt, but I'm just going to use my sea salt because that's what I have. It asks for a tablespoon. Tablespoon of smoked paprika, black pepper. Oh guys, I forgot to show the onion powder. It also requires onion powder. I'm sorry, but I will have the full list of what I put in it on the bottom. And yes, I have onion powder in a black pepper container. Okay, garlic powder, comino or cumin. That one just needs a teaspoon. Cayenne. Now it doesn't make it terribly spicy or anything, but if you're super sensitive to that, then don't add it. I'm gonna add a little bit more because we like heat around here. Celery salt, but instead of that, I am gonna add a teaspoon of oregano. Now I'm gonna whisk it together. This is kind of like a sweet heat thing because it had 1/4 cup of that monk fruit sweetener. The rest of it was either a teaspoon or a tablespoon, but again, I'll have it down below for you in the description box. All right, that looks good. Can you see it? I'm gonna add a little bit more smoked paprika, so I'm gonna do about a tablespoon and plus a teaspoon. Let's get our brisket ready. So I'm gonna take off some of this fat, some of this over here. You don't want to take off too much fat because a lot of the flavor comes from the fat. So And plus, it's not hard to just take it off whenever you're gonna serve it, you know. I'm gonna take off a good layer of this top fat, just because I don't need it. There's already a lot of fat on here. You want to make sure you're not cutting off the meat part though. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna put all this fat on this plate because you're gonna see what I'm gonna do with it later. Okay, I know I said I was only gonna cut off a little bit of the fat, but I got carried away and it's like plucking my eyebrows. Once I start, it's hard for me to stop. Okay, so I'm gonna get this rub and generously just pour it over. I think I actually am. Maybe I used smaller briskets before, because I think I am going to use all of this rub. Season the other side. Okay. I used all of it. So I guess if you want to do 2 or have some more for later, make a double batch. In fact, I think maybe that's what I did last time. It was a long time since I made that dry rub, so I don't really remember. All right, this is all ready. And so what am I gonna do with this fat here, you ask? I'm gonna put it right on top. Then I can just remove it whenever I'm ready to eat it, because I'm gonna bake it like this too. All right, I might remove it like halfway through once it kind of is already melted in and stuff, and that way I can give it a shot to cook properly. Okay, now I'm gonna stick it in the fridge overnight, and then tomorrow morning at about 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna set the oven to 300 degrees, and I'm gonna let that go for about 9 hours. Okay, going in the fridge overnight. Alright guys, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just put this brisket in the oven. Set it for 10 hours. You can't really see it on here, but I also took it out of the fridge to take the chill off of it for about an hour, and then I stuck it in the oven. I will see you back whenever come back from work and I check on my big old brisket. Alright guys, it is now 4 o'clock, 4:23, and my husband is going to take it out of the oven. Alright guys, so I just took off the fat that I had laid on top, and then plus some bacon that I had laid on top of there too. And it looks like it's ready. It's nice and tender. I'm going to check it here. Check it deep down in there just to make sure everything is okay. It's kind of cutting weird. I don't know. There's like some kind of like hard parts, but what you're going to do before, something I didn't do, is cover it with foil the first like 4 hours, and then the last hours take it off. I said I was gonna leave it for 10 hours, but it looks like it's good. It's been 7 hours, and at 300 it looks super tender. So that is it. I'm gonna eat some for lunch, and then I'll show you not until tomorrow whenever I make the Twinkies, Texas Twinkies. I'll see you then. Before I cut the peppers, I washed them in a little bit of baking soda. I don't even know where I heard that from, but I just heard it somewhere, so I thought I would do it. So anyway, just about 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and let it sit there for a little while, and then I drained it off. So now that we have our jalapenos washed, I did take out two of my bars of cream cheese, and I'm leaving them out to kind of soften while I do this next part. So all you're gonna do, I'm only gonna show you one or two. Cut off the little tails and then cut it in half. What I want better. That works. Okay. So I'm just gonna spoon out. Some of these bagel peppers don't have any heat, but some of them, they'll get ya. They'll get ya. Okay, so that's it. But keep it with this little half buddy. All right. All right. On to the next one. All right, and for your sake and for the sake of your eyes and your mouth and your face and your hands, wash your hands whenever you're finished with this. Don't like take your time and go move on to something else. Wash your hands. I keep this napkin down so that I can deseed and then just gather and throw it away. All right, I'm gonna continue these and I'll be back with you whenever I'm finished. Now they're cut and deseeded. So here's a brisket that I made the other day. And this is the meat that I'm going to use for this recipe. I think I'm going to cut a little bit more. I'm going to use it cold. I'm going to chop it up because it's easier to chop whenever it's cold. And then I'm going to do the other, mix the other cream cheese and the pepper jack cheese. And I'll show you that in a minute. But first, let me chop this up. Alright, I have 2 bars of cream cheese, so it's 16 ounces total. It's because we're making a lot of peppers. So I'm gonna stick this in the microwave, nuke it for about 30 to 45 seconds, and then I'm gonna add my other ingredients. I got a big old spoon, and you know what? I think I wanna put it in the microwave for a little bit longer because I want it like super soft. Oh yeah, baby, it's like butter. Now I'm gonna add the carne, the meat. Sorry. I would put less meat in there just so that you can kind of see how much meat you actually want in there versus cream cheese. It could go for a little bit more. So yeah, I think all this is good. Pepper jack cheese. This is about 8 ounces. I'm gonna add all of it. To wash my hands. Okay, now I'm gonna turn on the oven to, I think it's 375. Again, remember you had to keep it with its little cut buddy. And you're gonna fill up one side. It is a messy job, but somebody's gotta do it. Alright, so get that, put them together, and now you wrap up the bacon. Wrap it with the bacon. Alright, so you do want to space them out on a cookie sheet. You don't want to just push them all on there because this cheese and stuff is going to kind of ooze out. Speaking of oozing cheese, because you have the tops removed of the chiles, me personally, I like to put that cut side towards the middle. I missed these two right here, and I'll turn them around. Because I don't want all of the stuff going on the side of the pan. I don't know if that's just a Deborah preference or not, but it works best for me when I put it here. And then I can just scoop it up versus over here whenever. I don't know. These are just things that I like to do. Anyway, these are going to go in the oven for about 45 minutes. Okay. They're going to go back in for about 3 minutes. But I'm going to brush on. I'm using the last of my barbecue sauce here, but this G Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. This is not my favorite one, but I just grabbed it without looking at it. My favorite is like the, what is it? Hickory or something like that. But it didn't taste bad. It's pretty good too. It's just not my favorite. But anyway, I'm gonna brush some of this on. We're gonna stick it back in the oven. Cancel that, turn on the broiler, and we're gonna put it on high for about 3 minutes. Okay, this is them, our Texas Twinkies. All right, time to plate them up, and you have to at least, of course, get that all this good stuff that fell off in the middle. So I'm gonna eat maybe 2 or 3. I need to remember the carb count in this, but I will post it down below for you. I did save a good amount of carbs for my dinner tonight, so I'm just gonna pair this with some broccoli, and that's gonna be it. Now let's tear one of these bad boys up. Look at that. That's some good eating. All right, here's to all of you. These are so good. These are the 3rd time that we make these. First time I bought the brisket already made, but for how much brisket I want in the inside of the jalapenos, it just costs a lot of money to just buy it already made. But by all means, go buy you homemade. Go buy you some brisket already made for you. It's so easy. Just buy. You can even buy chopped beef if you don't care what barbecue sauce they use, because usually with chopped beef they'll put barbecue sauce in it. I'm sticking with the G Hughes because I know that's low sugar. But anyway, use whatever type of brisket you want, or if you don't even want to use brisket, use another meat, that would be fine too, but this one, that's a winner. All right, so some of you are gonna ask me, Deborah, you made a whole brisket just to make these these Texas Twinkies. Yes I did. And I did because these are so good. It's worth it. Plus we love brisket, and so I like to make different things with it, like making like a quesadilla with it. My husband likes to eat it with scrambled eggs. I use the tortillas that I always use. I'll put them on here. Those tortillas with some cheese, either cheddar or mozzarella, and just make like a quesadilla with it. It's so delicious. And so yes, but the main reason why I make this brisket is for these, like legit. I'm not even gonna lie. It is what it is, and you should do it too. So yeah, you saw me make that whole brisket. I'm gonna give you a few tips of some things that I felt like I didn't do as right this time. I initially was gonna cook the brisket for 10 hours, but when I checked it at 7 hours, it was perfect. I could have probably gone to maybe 6.5 hours, but remember I had a 15-pound brisket. This is like my 2nd or 3rd time making a brisket, maybe 2nd time, maybe 3rd time, I don't remember. But I'm not a pro at making briskets, so if you know how to make brisket, or you can go look at another, you know, YouTube video to find somebody who can give you some good tips on making brisket. I'm not that person, but what I would have done differently for this one is I would have covered it with foil paper for the first like 3 hours, and then maybe even 3.5 hours, and then I would have taken it off and then let it continue baking like that. So again, 6.5 hours for that 15-pound at 300 degrees. Cover it first for the first 3.5 hours, then take it off and let the rest of the time cook uncovered, so you can get yourself a really good crust. And another thing I think I would have done is I would have doubled that the dry rub recipe, because I think I wanted more flavor on this one. The other one I had made that dry rub like a while back, and I feel like there was more in that one than there was in just one batch, so I must have made two batches of it to cover up the whole brisket, because this was a really big brisket. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this recipe. I just want to thank you all for tuning in and watching my my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining my journey with me. Those of you who are new around here, who are just subscribed, thank you for joining me. Welcome to the family, and I hope I can inspire you and help you guys out. If you notice, I have about 197, was that what it is?
193.
Oh, 193. I'm already anyway, I have 193 subscribers, and so I'm trying to push it to 200, 300. I'm trying to go up and up. So if you can do me the favor and share my videos and like them and comment down below, and especially let me know what kind of videos you want to see me make. And I don't have a lot of subscribers, so there's a good chance that I'll make something that you ask me to make down below. If there's something that you want me to like I say, keto-fy, and something you've really been desiring to eat but you can't because you're trying to stay low carb, even if you're not doing keto, you still want to stay in the healthy area, let me know down below. Give me those ideas, and that way I can make sure that all the content that I put out is something that you're looking forward to. Alright guys, remember, subscribe, like this video. Love you. Until next time.